Okay, that's gonna be fun. But oh well. So we'll just have to deal with it. Hang on. Hello, whoever's watching. About to get to work, but see here. Gonna be working on just Alabama. I think I have this set up properly. Yeah, I do. And Alabama's gonna be a big update. It's part of the reason why I'm aiming for it at. Man, I really wish this had swapped over the Windows 7 Basic for almost no reason, but whatever. Guess I'll just deal with it. Weird how that one's still not in Windows 7 Basic, but whatever. Gonna be just working on pages for Alabama. Gonna be a big update because I'm splitting Alabama into 3 different sections. Let's see here. No. Which one's one I need to get? It's not 6, 8, 11. Can I write A7? That's it. Be editing this page. I think this thing swap out of. Windows 7 Basic right now. No, I don't think I can because this thing's. No, I don't think I can. Oh well. So we'll just have to deal with it. So, hello to whoever's watching again. As I see, there's like 4 people watching. Make sure that the chat is updating. So I have my laptop set up to my right, so this way I can actually keep an eye on the chat. Guess I'll just deal with Windows 7 Basic. As long as I have to. Hello to the fifth person who's joined. Let's see here. Actually, I need to. The reason why I prefer having regular Windows 7. So this way you can actually see what those look like. I know I had to swap over to Windows 7 Basic because my computer thought there was performance issues. Is the 132. Try looking at the control panel real quickly if I wanted to. Which I might do if I feel like it, seeing if control panel. Come on, go update, but for some reason I thought I wanted to. Huh. Hey, Dan. If anyone has any tips for getting out of Windows Basic, out of the Windows Basic theme, and back to regular Windows themes, so this way you can actually see the little preview images that pop up when you hover over like that. Then let me know, because I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I'm working on Webpages for a website. I'm currently using Adobe Dreamweaver. I forget the version. What's it? Adobe Dreamweaver CS6. I don't know if it's hard to use. I mean, it might be, I'm not entirely sure. And hello again, Dan. But anyways, I've been using it for a little while, so I've gotten a bit more used to it. Normally it costs money, but I'll be honest, I did pirate this. Because because a former admin of the site, if I recall correctly, sent me a link to get a copy of this. I probably email you a copy of the copy I use, though I don't know if it actually work. So there's always that. Yeah, that's right. Sure, I'd have to send it to you. Well, actually, I'd probably just give you a link to my Google Drive folder with it over Skype or something, but yeah, no. Need of it. Oh wait, that's right. I'm gonna need to copy paste this like one more time. Oops, no, I don't want to put it in the middle of that. I want to put it there. Well, let me get this part done real quick, and then I'll send it to you shortly, along with. So yeah, there we are. Now let's see here. Drive Google dot. Oops. Oh, put one too many G's in there. Drive.goggle.com, sure. Let's see here. Hang on. Here we are. I can't promise that it'll work. And you're gonna need to and let's see here. Share. See, alright. I just sent you the link via Skype. You're gonna need to download the entire folder, by the way. That entire folder I just linked to, you need to download the whole thing if you want to be able to use it. Though I can't promise that it'll work. If not, they can always use Composer, which a few other admins for the site that I help out on use, like Tommy being SF, he uses Composer. That's what I need. Google Maps open. Maps.google.com. And wait. Remember the street name of this street. Oh yeah, Snow Drive. Of course, also, oh hey, Mountain Mania. But for anyone who wants to make web pages, you'll want to learn HTML first. There we are. Now it works. Let's see. LED. Alright, that's that part updated. Must have missed that one. Hi, 1992 miles. Was the yeah, almost half an hour. So, what have y'all been up to, by the way? I mean, the main reason I do these live streams is just this way I have someone to chat with while working on the web pages. Let's see here. No. There we are. Um, 127.17. Let's see. Hey, Connor Nelson. No, it's not. I've done several before this. It's my first one in a long while, like almost a year. And I'm gonna go with this real quickly. Alright, there we go. Got that taken care of. Yeah, you always can, but still on the train. I'll show you in a second, Aiden. passing so they can decide. Right. North. Hey Dallas. It's I have no idea when I'm going to be working on Massachusetts next. Amtrak Productions. I'm got a lot of stuff in my backlog. And this is supposed to be Louisiana's update, but I didn't really have the motivation to do it. The only one I really have the motivation to do at the moment is Alabama, and that's due to the fact that it's going to be a huge update. I just want to get it over with. Hey, Tricky Mario. Oops, so hang on, what I'm gonna do. Span 2. There we are. Now I have no idea on the next update for Victoria either yet. I'm gonna figure out what, and a lot of stuff's gonna be played by ear though. I'm probably gonna, but a lot of my more submission based updates like Victoria, New South Wales, Massachusetts, those are probably going to be at least announced, but when I'm going to do them at least a month or two in advance, so this way I can give a deadline as to when I want submissions in by, and y'all can have a, and y'all can have, y'all can know when to get submissions in by, so, and also y'all know when I'm doing those next updates. But on Bob Wallace Avenue, I'm not really going to update on it, just simply due to the fact that there's been no changes. They're currently the old signal's currently tied up in insurance dealings, so no changes will happen there yet. I'm hoping to get some of the old lights in the signal anyways, so. But yeah, y'all will know when there's going to be a update to Bob Wallace Avenue, as I'll make a video about it. So I'll post about it on Mike's Drawing website. So just be patient, sit tight, and wait till more news comes out. No. One through 26 pictures, 27 through 132. Yeah. What do you think, Adam? Go take a look at the page for it on Mike's Drawing website. Go to. In fact, I'm going to even make this real easy for you. I'm going to just go over here to my laptop real quick. Just open up the Mike's Drawing website. Just Signal Pictures, Alabama. Scroll down. Cortland. And Monroe Street. And I'm just going to leave you the links so this way you can take a look and figure out that yourself. Since you had just asked if there are any updates on Monroe Street. Hey, Understrains. We're taking on 11, 27, 17. And yeah, there you go. You can see this is Canyon Route 87 in Alabaster for stuff. For Aiden, who had asked what crossing this was earlier. So yeah, I don't see any mistakes in this real quick. Just gotta make sure that all the stuff's spelled correctly. If anyone spots a mistake, let me know and I'll fix it. So how's everyone doing this afternoon, by the way? See here now, I want to go to no updates. Yeah, this one I'm just adding like 2 pictures. 2717. Oh wait. That's right, it's like morning where you live, isn't it, Tricky Mario? Yep, just like that. Hang on, 7:37 where you are, and where I am, it's currently 2:38. I'm just gonna take the difference. Just gonna assume that it was 2:37 when we sent that here. So that would mean that you are 5 hours behind me, by the way. Wait, yeah. Yeah, 5 hours behind me. Where do you live, Hunter's Trains? Where it's 3:38 a.m. It's right at my house as well. Listen, Connor Nelson lives Central Time based on how I said it was. Same time as it is for me. And what? Oh yeah, that one lacks the width part. I always forget about that. I need to fix that on the... on that one. There we are, that one's fixed. B1. Crossing from 11/27/17. By the way, Hunter's Trains, like, what country do you live in? So I don't know where it would be 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Hey, Jan, I think it is. Oh, wait, 3:40 p.m. Oh, you're an hour ahead of me then. Which means that you are on the east coast of the United States and Canada. And hey, I think it's Jan. That's right. If I recall correctly, you're RXR Productions now. I can never remember your name. What you change your name to it. I'm doing fine, by the way. Let's see here. 43. 17. Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking here. It was. So yeah, I don't see any issues that need correcting. Oh, and by the way, the mechanical bell on the first signal at this crossing rings while the gates are down. As I heard it when I was going past, well, attempting to chase a train. By the way, Adam, this really isn't a request stream. If you want to see a video, then you can watch it yourself. This video is just to show me working on Webpages. I don't really watch videos on it. Sorry to be so blunt about it, but you already have to make a new webpage. So yeah, for those of you who want to know how to make a webpage, at least for my extra drawing website, feel free to study this. Well, here on the East Coast, that's because CSX and NS have theirs set up that way. And many other railroads have theirs set up that way as well. UM7 and BNSF keep their bells ringing while the gates are down, and I believe the state of Michigan requires bells to ring throughout the entire time of them being active. And it's not really because of, and by the way, Jan, it's not really because of the FRA. It's not like Canada where they have prior regulations that state the bells have to ring while the gates are down. Here in the United States, it's left up to the railroad's choice, and basically the railroad decides if they're going to wire the bells up so that they remain on the entire time the signals are active, or if they shut off when the gates go down. Or however else they want to do it. Like have one shut off when the gates are down, one stay up, and one stay ringing while the gates are down, because like SCART does. I really should have grabbed a water bottle. I may do that once I finish this web page. Copy paste the index in there. And that's right, I need header.psd. I don't think California does. They might. I don't think they do, though. I know Union Pacific and BNSF set up their crossings to operate that way, and it seems a lot of the short lines over and regionals over there do the same thing. Though I wouldn't be too surprised if they require it. I know Michigan. In fact, I'm also 100% sure Michigan requires the bells to ring while the gates are down in their state. And they also require like 2 bells at every crossing. And also, some of it just depends on the heritage of the line. Like, I want to say there was... BNSF has since standardized most of their crossings. So that the bells ring, all the gates are down. A few... I don't know. May depend on the heritage of the line sometimes. Not entirely sure. I'll say Missouri has an NS line in it, so the bells there would stop ringing when the gates are down. Snow drive faster. Alright, now canvas size, pixels, 100 I think. I may go down 350. 350. Here's copy the directory there and save as snow png save and okay, close. No, yeah, it looks correct. Yeah, I know Norfolk Southern did that from the 1980s into the 1990s. Oh god! Oh, I just realized CSX got the dot number and milepost backwards on this sign. Oh wow, I've never noticed that. I didn't even notice that while I was out there. But yeah, the dot number is supposed to go up here where the milepost is, and the milepost is supposed to go down here where the dot number is. Hang on, is the other one like that? Yes, the other one is like that. CSX messed up both dot tags at this crossing. Let's give a round of applause for CSX. I mean, it's one thing to mess up a crossbuck. It's another thing to mess up the fucking dock tag. I don't think the Sergeant Harrison's doing this was likely put up long before he came to power in CSX. Yeah, I actually have. as there's a crossing. We might see it later, depending on how many crossings we get through. It's down in Clanton. There's a crossing where the top bolt to the crossbuck broke, so the crossbuck was hanging upside down from the bottom bolt. I don't know if that's quite what you were asking, but let's see here now. I need to go over here. Here we are. Let's see here. 352280B. B, generate report. Documents, crossing reports, save. Sure, I'll just replace it. Accident, generate report, save. Open both of those. Alabaster Snow Drive. See here, according to this, doing the math. Oh, that's right, I need to get the calculator up because I need to do math with this. Start calculator. Doing the math, the number of trains, by the way, would be as of 2017. The train count was from 2016, but 5 plus 3, that would be 14 trains a day passing through that crossbuck crossing. Yeah, crossbucks are easy to get backwards, and the are easy for roads to get backwards. I mean, if you're a signal maintainer, say you're replacing every crossbuck along a stretch of a line, and you're probably replacing somewhere from 50 to 100 crossbucks. Right, that'd be for 25 to 50 crossings, by the way. Then you kind of get into a rhythm, and you kind of get, yeah, I guess you could say your mind just kind of goes, you just kind of get used to doing things like go on autopilot, and then you just simply don't notice when you accidentally put up the crossbuck backwards. Though, I think some are just put up by maintainers who don't know any better, don't know how it's supposed to sit. I do know that's a pet peeve of some other signal maintainers to have crossbucks be backwards. Alabama. Now. Scroll down. Wait, what's the 20? I think they are. Haven't seen any other class ones put up Leotech LEDs yet. Union Pacific uses GE, Norfolk Southern uses GE, BNSF uses Dialight, Canadian National uses either GE or Dialight, I forget which. Oh, what did you do this time, Tricky Mario? Oh, wait, I misread that. Derp. But what did they do this time? Now, the milepost is 418.140. And the prefix is ooh. Don't know if those are zeros or O's. On the dot tag, they look like O's, so I'm going to go with O. Yeah, BNSF, Conrail, Canadian National, and CSX all use or used dialight ball LEDs. Yeah, the prefix depends on the line. I want to say the W&A sub uses WA as their prefix for the mileposts. I don't even know where Peachtree City in Georgia is. And I don't know how far it is from Huntsville. But yeah, QM might mean Quebec and Montreal or something. I don't know. It seems that they try to usually put a prefix that at least relates to the railroad, that at least relates to the line. CSX does, anyways. January 25th, 2018. That's what I'm thinking as well, is what they might be doing. 3 accidents. Let's see here. No injuries. The last one was back in 1990. No injuries. No injuries. Stopped on crossing. Stopped on crossing. Stopped on crossing. Okay, okay. Weird. Wonder why people keep stopping on the crossing there. I suppose they're trying to get a good view of the tracks and then wind up getting hit by a train they didn't realize was coming. And the crossing is kind of on a bit of a sharp curve. Let's see here now. Dot number. So 3 accidents. So it's going to be around 4 hours at least to get to that crossing. And it's very unlikely I'm going to get there anytime within the near future. If even at all. I mean, the one time I went to Atlanta, that was the Atlanta area. That was just kind of a one-off trip I managed to get lucky enough to do because I had a friend who wanted to go down to visit that area. So it's very unlikely I'll get out there, Adam. As of 2017. Drip Productions. Oh, and I just write. You know what I'm going to do real quickly? Just realized I forgot something. I'll take advantage of that. Alright. Yeah, I use the FRA's website. You put in the crossing dot number, select accident report, and it will automatically generate the report and it'll automatically let you read the report. Yeah, sure, just put in the HTML stuff there. Why don't you? It's not like I was trying to actually get it for some other reason, but whatever. It's safetydata.fra.gov. And by the way, the .dot is .dot.gov. Let's see here. Sure, I can. I mean, let's see here. If I recall correctly, safety.fra.gov. Yep, here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and get it on the crossing page. Hang on. Nice. There's for anyone who wants to go to that page. It's the link to the FRA's website. In fact, by the way, the old wide emergency information signs at this crossing, those were the style that CSX used at first, I believe. Then they did the horizontal white ones that had that more people are familiar with, and then they swapped over to the current blue ones. Oh. I've actually only seen one other crossing in person. Well, maybe 2 or 3 other crossings in person with the style of emergency information sign at it still. Track view looking CR87. Skyhound 87. Let's see here, the next crossings. That reminds me. These are the next ones up and down, aren't they? Yes, they are. I need to fix that. I need to update those guys, so. No, I'm gonna rewrite that over here. Track view 1 made 2. Real quick, I'm gonna make sure it is Fulton Springs Road. Yep, Fulton Springs Road. How do you spell extension? Yep. With an S, just as I thought it was. Yeah, they do. And yeah, I have a few mall trains. I have a Lego mall train. I have a Lionel mall train. I think I have a few HO scale cars around here somewhere. Maybe. I'll probably do it at the bottom. Actually, I'll do it right here. We're taking on, I think this is 11/27. No, I think it's actually a different date. Let me check here. No, it's just, yeah, it's 11/28. 17. Yeah, I think Seattle. Isn't there like a light rail system or a short line there that uses them, I want to say? And yeah, it's this page complete, it looks like. So, yeah, I'm gonna step off real quickly. I'm going to be right back. I'm just getting some water because I am thirsty. And I'm back and gotta quickly just turn on a light because I forgot just how dark it is over in this corner of the room. Let me have my ceiling light on, but I'm getting another light over on my desk on. I may just... I actually provide some good ambient lighting like that. Smart idea, David. CSX also used to use GE bells once upon a time. So let's see here now. I just need to get the Fulton Springs Road crossings updated with the new addition of crossing between. The crossing there linked to the south. So yeah, Dreamweaver tends to have some issues. So you're looking south towards No Drive. Well, hang on real quickly. Just dealing with some stuff. Well, there's one easy way to tell, Connor. Is that GE e-bells only have 2 supports. Western Colon Hayes e-bells only have... Western Colon Hayes e-bells have 4 supports holding up the upper part of the bell. So if you walk around the bell and only see 2 supports, it's GE. If you walk around the bell and see 4 supports, it's a Western Colon Hayes. And now, Dreamweaver CS6. And now, oh right, wrong one. Yeah, I gotta go up to this one. Up to this one. which means I'm going to need to click Snow Drive. This. Just run. Trail signals, electronic bells. Let's see here. Type 1s are high pitched, type 2s are low pitched. General signals type 3s are sound like they're about in between. And I have a video called Road Crossing Bells I've recorded that I need to get a new one of those out, by the way, but I have a video called Road Crossing Bells I've recorded that has all 3 general signals, electronic bells in it. So you can just kind of compare the sounds of those. Now, outside of a few weird exceptions, generally if it's a type 1, it's high-pitched. Generally it's low-pitched, it's type 2. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I was saying outside of a few, yeah, drill signals type 2 are definitely the most common, but outside of a few weird exceptions, Tricky Mario, like the adjusted type 1s that Metro over there in Australia loves to use for some reason, they are all, they're pretty much all type 1s, and yeah, they do sound awful. Hey, Ethan. Sure you can. I'll check it out later. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that one's done. This one should be done. Yes, that is done. Good. Thanks. Okay, that's just kind of, for a reason, I just got memories of the shoplifters will be prostituted sign that's been going around on the internet for a few years. And yes, you can send me a link, Connor. I'll check it out later, though. And now I get to copy that, so this way I can make the Snow Drive street template. Apparently, yes, there was a real sign somewhere That was probably designed by someone at that store, probably like a manager, and they sent it off to a sign manufacturer to have it be made, so they put it up in the store. And while the sign manufacturers might have noticed the error, they probably didn't realize it was an error because they probably just assumed they really wanted a sign that said shoplifters will be prostituted. But the person who designed the sign initially didn't notice that the managers will that their parents saying that the crap, I forget where I'm trying to go with this. I think you can figure out the error with this. Probably meant to say shoplifters will be prosecuted, but yeah, I've been considering going up there, just haven't had the time yet. I know, we're going rail thing next. I'm planning on going to chase the Alabama Tennessee River Railway probably this Monday, especially if the weather cooperates. Also, am I the only one who thinks that Snow Drive is not exactly a name a street should have here in the middle of Alabama? I mean, I'm pretty sure Snow Drive did get snow recently, yes, Birmingham. No, I don't know if they're going to be running south that day. The problem with that part of the ATN line between Birmingham and Gadsden is that trains kind of don't run regularly along it. If they do run, there's only one train a day, and it's in one direction. One day they'll run south. The next day they'll run north. Wash, rinse, repeat with one day off. Monday through Friday, they will run a train up to Gunnersville and back from Gadsden. And that's the train I'm looking at recording. Oh, hey, channel random ceiling fans. I'd love to record the crossing out there in Odenville, but especially the one with the teardrop, but it'll be kind of hard to. I'm gonna just have to print. I'd pretty much have to schedule a day off for that and hope a couple days off for that, and pretty much just go down to CAT and hope for the best on those days. Here's my guess, based on what the HMCR put up last time, is that the new signal will have Western Colin Hayes 12 by 24 inch or 12 by 20 inch lights with the current generation with Western Colin Hayes second generation LEDs. There'll probably be 6 pairs of lights. And hang on, there's someone knocking at my door, so... Alright, I'm back. Just had to talk to my mom real quick. Yeah, they're planning on getting a cantilever, if I recall correctly. There's the new signal's gonna be a cantilever signal with. I know that's for certain, simply due to how wide the road is there. It'll be interesting to see a new signal. I already got photos of that one that you're describing, Ethan. The one I need to get photos of is the one with the gates, number 1. But anyways, I do have plans to get up there. Probably if I get up when I get up to your hometown, I'll probably see about stopping by Gallatin, getting a few pictures of the other crossing there. let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's right. So I think it is like 3, I think is the... No, that's not the proper one. Call span, I think it is. Yep, there we are. So, snow. Snow. Oh, and speaking of snow, there is a chance we could get a little bit of a dusting here in Huntsville soon. Yeah, they won't replace the R signal. The HMCR is a short line, and they don't like to replace signals that don't need replacing. And 125, 2018, 2018. Alright, I'll see about it. Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting site with the mixture that they'll have. I mean, Lily Flag's going to be the same way. See here, photos. There are 132 photos at County Route 87 now. Hang on, class. Do we have a green plus? Yes, we do. Good. Oh. No, I didn't want to do that. Plus 132 minus 26. 106. 6 pictures. Let's hope this doesn't... Okay, so green plus did not want to actually become green plus. Hang on, split. Font color. Green. Light green, okay. Light green, I need to enter. Lime, let's go with lime green. Lime green. Okay, that'll work well enough. Okay, that Adventures in Webpage Design. Brought to you by Free Brick Productions. $43. There is 20 there. Just so you know, any crossings in limbo like Lily Flag Road and Bob Wallace Avenue, I only give updates on them as they occur. So, I think you can assume that there's no updates if I haven't said anything about it. Or at least I haven't noticed any updates. So, let's see here. So, let's pull out the trusty old calculator and do some math. 106 plus 2 plus 20, 128 pictures. So 128 pictures. Wait, what be? 2 videos. That's right, I need 1 new crossing, 1 updated crossing, and I'm just gonna extend that a bit. I'm gonna try neon green real quick. See how that looks. Neon. No, that did not work. Lime green. I have no idea if he is watching live. That is not a question for me to answer. And I wouldn't bug him about it either. Alright, so close. Now cholera. I've got like 3 new crossings there and 1 updated crossing. So, oh, 2 updated crossings, that's right. I just realized I never got those pictures organized. 2, 3, 54. Yeah, for those who are interested, 10th Street and cholera got the lights replaced, so the WRS mechanical bell still remains, fortunately. Though I don't know how much longer it's going to be there, given that NS seems to want to get rid of as much WRS and GRS equipment from their lines as possible. So, yeah, I wish I knew when the NS locals that operate that line went through there, but oh well. I'm surprised to go through there in the middle of the night. I think it's because Norfolk Southern doesn't like anything that's safe train related, for the most part. Huh. I'm sure people succeed in getting net neutrality replaced, but put back in, but I don't know what'll happen. I mean, anyone with a good lawyer can pretty much do almost anything. And let's see. With open with yeah, this line was, by the way, a fun fact about this line, used to go all the way from, I don't think they're trying to get money, they're more like trying to sue to get the FCC to reenact net neutrality. And if you don't support net neutrality, at least if you're an American and you don't support net neutrality, I'm going to kind of question your priorities a bit. $39 to $54. So start there. Control C. Now Shame I didn't get to record the crossing was 8-inch, but oh well. Oops. No, I did not want to put that as a paragraph. And Adam, based on the other crossings I've talked about, do you think that I'm going to... Well, basically I haven't really been to Athens in a while, but I need to get back out of Athens soon. But based on the other crossings I've told you about, where people have asked me on updates, and my general response of, if I haven't been there and if I haven't done any updates on it yet, if I haven't made any new videos about it, chances are there are no updates. So what do you think? Let's see here. Yeah, there's some good crossings up there. Once there's a crossing with some old cantilever signals and a Bellis L&N crossing there. Bellis crossing there with some 8-inch lights at it. Towards AL 25. Number 2. Yeah, fun fact, Calera does have 2 crossings on Alabama State Route 25. I thought there was only one when I'd say last time, but turns out there's a signalized one on the NS as well. Turn trip on 11/27/17. I think this was 11/27/17. Might have been. Hang on, this was 11/27/17. I think there's only like maybe. Wait, no, there's a lot more all 8-inch crossings. Just remember there's CSX Dothan Sub, which has a ton of 8-inch lights left along it because CSX doesn't do anything with that line anymore. Other than run a few locals and the occasional rerouted train on it. And the Central Georgia District's kind of the same way. Though in their case, that's due to the fact that, I mean, it's pretty much the same way for NS there. They just run a few locals along it. And then and the occasional empty rerouted coal train. Rerouted empty coal train up it. From Scherer, Georgia. I may look at that on Street View at some point and then. Anyways, let's see here. First signal. That has transport by 20-inch lights. I think it's the only WRS mechanical. By the way, I think it's the only WRS mechanical bell left on Norfolk. Wait, No, it's not. I forgot there's 2 crossing in Selma. It's one of the last few WRS mechanical bells left on Norfolk Southern line in the state. Especially if lines are still used. Four-inch lights. Yeah. For safe trend 12 by 20-inch lights. Track use. Oh, by the way, about the NS Rome line, it's not pretty much just a branch line divided into 2 sections with car storage between them from Anniston, Alabama to like Selma, Alabama. But before then, the line went all the way from Selma, Alabama to Rome, Georgia. However, the section between Anniston, Alabama and Rome, Georgia is mostly abandoned with like a branch line at one point, with like a branch line in Georgia being the only other remaining portion of it. Pictures 39 through 54 were taken November 27th, 2017 by Brick Productions. Nesbitt Lane, what town is... Oh, wait, that's right, that's your hometown, isn't it, Ethan? So yeah, there we are, and I'm gonna... Alright, that one is done. Close now. That's right, this one. I'm adding 2 pictures to it. That's right, I got a bunch of crossings in this one I need to update. And crossing site. May pause here soon and use the bathroom, to be honest. Here. No. There we are. Number 1. 29, 17. And 30. Bacon on. Underscore 1. I believe that's how it's set up. Yep. That's how it's set up. Yeah, I'm going to close out of that real quick to just check, make sure that I did set that up. I did say that. Yes, I did. And now, real quickly, what I'm going to do is, do I still have, no, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right, I do have Word installed. I'm just going to pull this up, put up be right back. I know it's not the most professional thing out there, but I care less right now because I gotta just take it. Alright, so I'm gonna be back as soon as I can. Alright, I'm back. Just gonna leave that down. And leave that down. And that's right, 23rd, I need to just do a quick update. Open with Camp Hill, that's the town name. Wait, not Camp Hill, it's Center Hill. And CR25. South towards CR25 and Center Hill, Alabama. CR25. And now save that. Cholera. L25 number 1. I get to make a brand new header. And this is gonna be fun to make. It's gonna be fun. On the bright side, 200 is the maximum width I'm gonna need, and I'm gonna. So let's see here, yellow, headered up. Photoshop document. Okay. So number 1, cholera, and now image canvas size. I'm gonna reduce this down to 200 because that's the widest I need it. And I'm gonna start 140. That's what I want to do for highway shields. Alright, that looks good. Now, image canvas size. Let's go with 300. Should be plenty of room for me to arrange these as necessary. And then I think I can just simply drop that by about 50 pixels. Okay, yeah, this guy's gonna need to go down by a few. That looks pretty good now. So I'm just gonna make sure this guy works real quick. PNG save, yes, I'm gonna replace that. Okay. Now, see here. Don't see any obvious cutoffs. Close, but I am gonna open this real quickly. Open with Adobe Dreamweaver CS6. I'm also gonna, now I think about it. Yeah, it looks good. Don't see anything that looks cut off on it. I don't think. So, if there is, it's not going to be noticeable. So I can't see anything. Alright, now file, save as. Oh yeah, that's right, I meant 2. Now save that in there. So it's probably just have that on hand. Wait, that'd be near color, wouldn't it? Well, I do have this on hand. Wait, no. There. I don't even need to do that. I have this on hand. It's 727393W. Might as well go ahead and get these open. 727393W. Yeah, there was an accident there earlier this year, if I recall correctly. Save. Yeah, it's just near cholera. On the NS Rome line, of course. Most recent accident, yeah, it was earlier this year. Driver got injured, $100,000 in damage. I think that's supposed to be A84, by the way. And now, yep, near cholera, which means I need to image canvas size 350. Oops, no, wrong way. Dirt. And now Control Z, Control Z, no, Control Z, Control Shift Z. There we are. And now image canvas size. Width needs to be 350. Okay, that's a bit too high. I think I can go down 300. 100. I already did, but that was years ago. I went to St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, copy that. PNG. Alright, so now I can close out of that. And get back to editing this. Darn it. Of course it had to open this right as I press Control W to close the tab in Chrome. Of course, whenever it opens one of these pages in Dreamweaver, it always pops to the forefront. So of course, when I tried to close this tab, it had to do that. It was the wrong thing. I feel like just watching this again. I always love the sound of this. All transport products for signals here. So yeah, let's see here now. What I want is 28, through 64. Alright, now what I want is a... Oops, wrong one. This. Alright, now I take this. Alright. Number 1. So, what's everyone been up to lately, by the way? I don't think anyone really answered my question when I asked that earlier. If you don't know what you've been doing, then you might wanna... I don't know, you might just wanna look into your memory there. Because what you've been up to is not... Someone asking what you've been up to is not a question you answer, I don't know, to. Ah, nice. What? There's 8 people watching now. For those that weren't watching earlier, feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. Hey. Hey, Tricky Mario. Oh yeah, that's right. I think I might have smart filtering enabled. Hang on. Stream options. Give me a second. Alright, so... Alright, now try putting a link in the chat. Yeah, it's just a weird graphical glitch. Keep in mind, any links in the chat I might not even look at because I'm viewing the chat on my laptop. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of an awkward spot as it's sitting on a printer next to my computer, so I can read the chat. No, 2917. Alright, so that's that crossing updated. Alright, yeah, I don't see any errors. Yeah, I may just need to refresh the page. If it doesn't work, then I'm just gonna blame it on I'm just gonna blame it on the fact that I need to like restart the stream or something, which is something I don't want to do right now because I'm kind of in the middle of streaming. And I think you can understand why. Okay. New bad drivers, I'll have to watch that later. Let's see here. So, alright, so that's right, that's done. Now what I get to do, I'm going to close out of that. What I get to do now is make the page for this crossing. Also, Claire only has one signalized crossing in it that does not have 12 by 24 inch lights at it. Believe it or not. Also, this crossing years ago used to have all 8-inch lights and a mechanical bell. The mechanical bell is where that general signal Z bell is now. It was replaced between I want to say 2008 and 2013 with the general signals electronic belt probably like died or something. And then this signal had safe train 8-inch lights, which were upgraded to the safe train 12x24s right there. That signal had safe train 8-inch lights for a little bit longer, but that 12x24 safe train 12x24-inch light had been there back in 2008 according to Street View as well, so that one's probably the oldest light at the crossing, that means. But then the safe train 8-inch lights there were replaced recently with safe tran 12x20s. The old mechanical bell, I believe, was like a WRS mechanical bell. I forget. But yeah, Colorado only has one signalized crossing in it without any 12x24-inch lights. And that would be US 31 number 1. Hang on, that's like 10th Street. Yeah, it's 10th Street. Need to jog my memory there. L 25.2 near Colorado, Alabama. Wait, that's way too far down. How many are there again? There's 20 pictures. Alright, so that's that. Jeff. And let's see here. There we are. And this says of 2017. Okay. Total accidents, 3 accidents. Yeah, that's okay. That happens to us occasionally. 6 as of 2017. Productions. And now I'm just going to copy paste that and just change CSX and A South to the NS Rome line. There we are. So this. There we are. crossing for signal as a safe tran base. Emergency formation. This signal has all safe tran 12 by 24 lights. Yeah, there's been 4 accidents there. And it's not really all that many. I've been to crossings with a lot more than that. Like one in Georgia was like 33 accidents. I've heard of them, never watched them. Also, think about this, is only one of 2 general signals evals in the cholera, but these signals are rather old. They date back to the Southern Railroad, that's for sure. I have to wonder if any 12 by 24 inch lights exist in Australia, given the fact that 8 inch and 12 by 20 inch lights exist over there. And those extra large backgrounds on some of those 8 inch lights, which I think might be 30 inch backgrounds. I don't know, someone has to go out there and measure them. The floodlights were to light up the crossing at night, so this way, I assume so this way cars driving down the road could see the trains better. Though I don't think they maintain them anymore, as apparently as it appears that the bulbs in them no longer work. 2717. Hey, Tyler. Alright, let's see how that looks real quickly. Make sure that turned out correctly. Yes, it did. Good. Man, I gotta go use the bathroom again, so can get some water. And I'm gonna real quickly just kinda go AFK for a second so I can just use the bathroom. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and to answer your question, Tyler, occasionally. Depends on if I go out, but hang on. Alright, so I'm going to read a short passage real quickly from Harry Potter and the Portrait of What Looks Like a Large Pile of Ash. Chapter 13. The Handsome One. The castle grounds snarled with a wave of magically magnified wind. The sky outside was a great black ceiling, which was full of blood. The only sounds drifting from Hagrid's hut were the disdainful shrieks of his own furniture. Magic. It was something that Harry Potter thought was very good. Leathery sheets of rain lashed at Harry's ghost as he walked across the grounds toward the castle. Ron was standing there doing some kind of frenzied tap dance. He saw Harry and immediately began to eat Hermione's family. Ron's shirt was just as bad as Ron himself. If you two can't clump happily, I'm going to get aggressive, confessed the reasonable Hermione. What about Ron magic? Offered Ron. To Harry, Ron was loud, slow, and soft bird. Harry did not like to think about birds. Death Eaters are on top of the castle, Ron bleated, quivering. Ron was going to be spiders. He just was. He wasn't proud of but it was going to be hard not to have spiders all over his body after all is said and done. Look, said Hermione. Obviously there are loads of Death Eaters in castle. Let's listen in on their meetings. The three complete friends zapped onto the landing outside the door to the castle roof. They almost legged it, but witches are not climbing. Ron looked at the doorknob and then looked at Hermione with searing pain. I think it's closed, he noticed. Locked, said Mr. Staircase, the shabby-robed ghost. They looked at the door, screaming about how closed it was, and asking it to be replaced with a small orb. The password was Beef Women! In all caps, by the way, Hermione cried. Harry, Ron, and Hermione quietly stood behind a circle of Death Eaters who looked bad. It's okay if you like me, said one Death Eater. Thank you very much, replied the other. The first Death Eater confidently leaned forward to plant a kiss on his cheek. Oh, well done, said the second as his friend stepped back again. All the other Death Eaters clapped politely, and then they took a few minutes to go over the plan to get rid of Harry's magic. Harry could tell that Voldemort was standing right behind him. He felt a great overreaction. Harry tore his eyes from his head and threw him into the forest. Voldemort raised his eyebrows at Harry, who could not see anything at the moment. Voldemort, you're a very bad and mean wizard, Harry savagely said. Hermione nodded encouragingly. The tall Death Eater was wearing a shirt that said, Hermione has forgotten how to dance. So Hermione dipped his face in mud. Ron threw a wand at Voldemort and everyone applauded. Ron smiled. Ron reached for his wand slowly. Ron's the handsome one, muttered Harry as he reluctantly reached for his. They cast a spell or two, and jets of green lights shot out of the Death Eaters' heads. Ron flinched. Not so handsome now, thought Harry, as he dipped Hermione in hot sauce. The Death Eaters were dead now, and Harry was hungrier than he had ever been. The Great Hall was filled with incredible moaning chandeliers and a large librarian who decorated the sinks with books about masonry. Mountains of mice exploded. Several long pumpkins... Hang on, give me a second to compose myself. Several long Just give me a second here. Several long pumpkins fell out of McGonagall. There we go. Dumbledore's head... God, this is like one of the best parts. Just give me a second again. Dumbledore's hair scooted next to Hermione as Dumbledore arrived at school. The pig of Hufflepuff pulsed like a large bullfrog. Dumbledore smiled at it and placed his hand on its head. You are Hagrid now. We are the only people who matter. He is never going to get rid of us, Harry, Hermione, and Ron said in chorus. The floor of the castle seemed like a large pile of magic. The Dursleys had never been to the castle, and they were not about to come there in Harry Potter and the Portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash. Harry looked around and then fell down the spiral staircase for the rest of the summer. I'm Harry Potter, Harry began yelling. The dark arts may be worried. Oh boy! And that is the end of the passage. And for those who are curious, that was basically... Anyone know what predictive text interface is? Basically, it's kind of like what it's basically kind of like what autocorrect is when you're typing a word and it predicts what you're about to type and asks if you want to put that word in next. But anyways, a predictive text basically someone developed a predictive text interface and a bunch of people got together, used it, and basically predictive text interfaces, by the way, have to have some kind of source to draw their words from. So basically you can see how words are used and what context they're used and what words they're often used with. So basically what they had to do was they put the entirety of all 7 Harry Potter books into this predictive text interface, and they then went and used it to... A bunch of people used it to write a Basically, a chapter for a non-existent Harry Potter book. So yeah, I'm glad y'all enjoyed that. In fact, I'm going to just leave the link for those who want to read it themselves. Because it's just that funny. Gosh, the last paragraph again. Weird, that should have been the correct... Yeah, it's... Huh. Maybe they just removed it. Basically, just go to botnik.org. I'll just leave that link right there. Basically, I don't know if it doesn't want to work as a link for whatever reason. Basically, just go to that website there and you can read it yourself if you want to. I'd been laughing earlier about how that rereading that one reading part of that is it's pretty humorous. If anyone wants, by the way, if anyone wants me to read any other similar things, just let me know, because I know a whole blog full of them. Oh, and also, who is ready to play a game of Find That Dot Number? Because this crossing does not have any dot numbers posted at it. Nor does it have any emergency information, so... No, I'm not going to read dad jokes. I got something better. Object. Tom. Alright. So it's a bit, but anyways, I'm gonna, and though for those curious, Find That Dot Number is a lot less exciting than it sounds. So let's see here. Zoom out a bit. Uh-oh. No dot number posted. We'll give an all the large number. Lovely there. Yeah, maybe this is the misplaced one. It's... So let's see what this one is real quickly. I think it's not the right one. No, yeah, that's way wrong one. That's for crossing and Bessemer. Crap. Wait, does this one even have... I'm not sure if there's a dot number at that crossing. Yeah, I don't think there's a dot number at that crossing. Huh. Unless it just got misplaced on the map. Which is 100% entirely possible. I'm not saying the crossing. Thinking of this stuff, it might entirely be possibly. Nope. That's not it. I'm just pretty like that crossing misplaced. Yeah, I don't think it has a dot number. So I really don't know any information about it. That's unfortunate. But I'm going to read a few more of the similar stuff I read earlier. So here's a 1-star review of the Space Needle. I got very angry for free at the top of the Space Noodle. Oh gosh. So I got very angry for free at the top. Give me a second. Just give me a second real quickly. 1-star review of the Space Needle. I got very angry for free at the top of the Space Noodle. I would not recommend using the observation deck to commit observation from the top of Seattle. It was my first time experiencing a clear view of clouds, and I was expecting more. I got hot dogs from other buildings, and I just wanted to eat up there in the air. It's actually physically impossible to touch the sky from the Space Needle. It's actually physically impossible to touch the sky from the top of any sort of thing. That is an iconic symbol of the structure of my expectations. My friend has been magically imposed onto the surrounding buildings. And the view is spectacular if you don't mind nighttime shadows showing the price of time. It's a good time to check out the employee who helped me waste money on my husband who is patiently lining up for the experience of getting engaged. I think it's super unclear and confusing for you to stand next to the needle and look forward 200 years and then never go up the Space Needle. There was an idiot up there with all the money worth paying for. She looked like a huge gas jet attraction and went straight through the protective barriers and went up and went up. She obviously didn't have any shareholders whatsoever. I just wanted to write all my friends and post to Facebook right now from the bottom of my opinion. Anyways, I gave her terrible chocolate and we got into big trouble for free. And anyone ever want to know how to be a beekeeper, by the way? Because here you go. For Chapter 1, Safety Precautions. For optimal beekeeping, book a beekeeping journey before you put bees in your jurisdiction. Insert screws on each side of your yard or rooftop or your window. To reset the mechanism of blotchy beehive boxes, affect a great sunny position until you are going rectangular. The bees... Oh God. Yeah. The bees will create a gown of contents that you will probably find instructional. Cap the front of the hive when appropriate and remove the crystallized honey from the prevailing frames of play. The honey flows out of a warm box on the front of this manual. Chapter 2. Monitoring your hive health. Some bees can liquefy... hang on. Some bees can liquefy humans by inserting a severe bit of honey in their water hose. Some bees cannot get injured and will return for your neighbors when you do not have relevant reactions. Some bees are wild in their wax of the box. Some bees are wild with their wax of their box. Chapter 3. Processing and storing your honey. So that bees cannot... hang on. Give me a second real quick. So that bees cannot escape your superhive or disturb local amateur state primary industries, you should push no nectar greater than your neighbors. This is particularly important to consider when your neighbors are out foraging in the northern hemisphere for northerly honey. And Chapter 4. Additional skills for successful beekeeping. If you consider your bees are dangerous to consider, you can open the gap between humans and pets, etc. Leave a little bit of honey in the hot position until it's the standard Langstroth super queen. Bees will be attracted to the original sight of children. Soaked in warm water, your neighbors harvest every last drop of your new body. Let's see here. Next. Alright, here we are. Here's a 5-star review, Amazon review of some fire extinguishers. Of a fire extinguisher. Everyone should own a lot of these extinguishers. I like to be prepared for anything from fire to burning, and I think everyone should own a lot of these extinguishers. We needed one for my husband, who has been unable to use any of the fire extinguishers in his work truck, and I bought 2 extinguishers for my car, then I bought 4 extinguishers for my Daughters of the Road, and I ordered several thousand of them for my different trucks and cars. I have tested it on the highway, and I'm somewhat concerned that the status of the Jeep is on fire, but I feel safer knowing that I have this extinguisher. For my son's new truck, I bought multiple extinguishers so that he could have them around just in case a fire breaks out in his life or property. He said that this will be important because he says that it seems like a fire can kill him in a matter of minutes. Classic example of a guy who's become fascinated with the wood of his mind. That was about 10 years ago and I was crazy, but I was very effective. Later, we were remnants of a lot of space, but I have one of these babies strapped to my husband, and he is the perfect size. It takes a fire to grab my husband, and he says, "No way to keep the chemicals from burning you to the ground. Thank goodness I do not have a reason to employ this device on my father, who is on fire. Oops." One of my kids is training to be a fire extinguisher. He says that this product gives him a fire in his head that he would like to keep it. I decided it was recommended to be here with the results of my life. I hope to never need to replace another of the kids. Here's a 3-star review for Buckingham Palace. In London, the guards are protecting their fancy uniforms from crowds of sweaty people and humanity. I arrived at 11 a.m. every morning to experience the royal children running through security and ruining the Queen. They were all holding cell phones and their heads are all very big men, and they only let you enjoy the Queen if you are already super cool. The Queen's official home travel companion was a little old woman who had been standing for hours in a room full of prairie dogs, and I remember this old woman was very cool and definitely worth witnessing. I just wish photography was allowed to take pictures of people. I really wanted to get very thick with my own unique needs. The guards were in the summer, and I was glad that the Queen was in the winter. I was standing in the winter, and I love that the Queen was in the winter, but I was expecting it to be a beautiful day in the summer, and every time I saw the Queen, I would jump out and wave for a few minutes. I was so loud and so much less marvelous than I hoped to be in my head. The royal children were so serious, and they cancelled the Queen. They were constantly warning us to walk away from the actual event, and I don't even know what it was about. You can walk around the back of the guards, and I got to see the inside of the white room with the tall, strong friend of my wife, but we ended up running because the guards were so many and we were not. Fun fact, buses everywhere, definitely larger than the Queen, and I think that is just blasphemy. And I'm going to get back to crossing soon. I just want to share a few good ones with you. Let me find a good... Oh, this one's really good. It's a 1-star review for LaGuardia Airport in Baltimore. And then after this one, I'm going to do like 2 more, and then I'll be done with these for a little while. So here's the 1-star review for LaGuardia Airport. The airport is a joke and disgrace, and aviation is an outdated piece of shit. For my job, I have to go to Baltimore to avoid getting shouted at by someone who knows where I live. Now and then, I fly into this death trap of a sad disaster. I can truly say that LGA is the shittiest, nastiest dump of food and stagnant air traffic that there has ever been. I was delayed for 2 hours because I had endless money and they were pissed off that they didn't. I couldn't wait for luggage to arrive in my life, and I was so surprised when the pilot informs us that there's always a horrendous tax in the concourse, and that we would have to make sure that we didn't speak to the car because it was so stupid and ignorant. We were waiting for bags, and it was taking too long. We were hungry for food, and then finally we were hungry for people. We had no idea how to get some. The lady in front of me was crying because I was having an affair on JFK's plane. I thought, oh well, at least I haven't experienced what I don't know about. I haven't yet experienced what I don't know about. My family members forgot to take me to my luggage, which is one reason why I hate both of my family members. I think about how awful my family is. By comparison, the airport is a complete idiot. The food court is subpar, not enough bathrooms, and a disgusting shithole. I know how to use a restroom, and it doesn't look like what some people in this airport like to do. This airport was the most depressing place to eat anything but Pepsi products. Yuck. I'd rather go straight to the nearest subway station and dirty the floor with my bags of smelly garbage. If you're unfortunate enough to be a nightmare, I have a nice alternative for you. Go to LaGuardia and have a beer, and then have some sedatives, and finally just sit back and wait for the airport to be demolished. If you can avoid it, please do not look at my family. Oh. Here's a really good one. A review of Obama's biography, if I recall correctly. The biography or autobiography. So, Obama is no stranger to me. By father with a 1-star review. I was Obama's biological father, and I have to say that Obama is no stranger to me. You can definitely speed read this piece of fiction authored by a man. I was a man, of course. I was Obama's dad, a person who made him in the original. I have the same name as President Obama and his mother and his wife. I would be a president if Obama was not a person published by his father. Barack Hussein Obama's biological father is a brilliant kid who has become infected with some vague idea of becoming president. Obama is so bored with this disgusting father who made him from all of his skin, and he never mentions getting online. He never mentions the story of American flag in the original book, the book of the internet. I am so surprised to be enamored with an American flag on the internet. I am not a waste of a man. I am proud to be a plausible framework for Obama's biological narrative. In Hawaii, I was looking for a bus to the United States, and I don't know how I found it. I was so smart that I was published in a book, and I read the book, and it's entirely possible to read it. I had a wife, and I think that's why Obama is there. I read this book in the same neighborhood as an alcoholic philanderer who has photos of his own voice. It is obvious to say I am very rich. Let's see, I've got like one more. No, sorry, I got like 2 more. Actually, I got one more, and then I'm going to put off the others, the ones I want to read you to later. Yeah. Let's see here. Here's a rewrite of The Elements of Style from 1918, called The Elements of Strunk. Chapters 1 through 10. Chapter 1. The word is usually in a sentence, which is frequently in a paragraph. The subject of a single word is usually the word, unless the word is the subject of its sentence. In this sentence, the subject is the same word as the freak clause. His brother, whom he found to be young, was very sorry that he had written a semicolon. This sentence cannot help himself by substituting a semicolon for a comma. Instead, the sentence will always do well to examine his brother, the paragraph, and to write 20 ideas that are related to paragraphs. In spring, summer, or winter, sentences should be avoided. Chapter 2. The paragraph is the only allowable variation on the sentence. Each paragraph is a man or an old mansion. A paragraph of 2 letters is a man. A paragraph on a Tuesday evening is a man. A paragraph on a Tuesday night is a man. A paragraph with a hyphen or a conjunction is a man who is very ambitious. A paragraph by the Whigs of the city is an old mansion. In the old mansion is a portrait of Benjamin Paragraph, grandson of William Word. A paragraph from the Bible is a man. A paragraph from other sources in the past is an old mansion. Of course, to be properly enjoyed, the paragraph has to be regarded as a man whom the writer decides to tell a story. Chapter 3. The most useful kind of paragraph is the paragraph of the possessive Jesus of composition and publication. The possessive Jesus of composition and publication is a paragraph of 2 independent legs in which the reader will probably find a series of 3,000 or more emphatic statements. He is a man. He is a member of the Government Sentence Office. Chapter 4. A comma is required if there is no comma. The paragraph sometimes begins with a comma instead of a word. By itself, a comma is a portrait of a guitar. This is entirely correct. The writer may safely omit the first comma after the killing clause. A comma is to be published in Harper's Magazine in spring. And let's see your next part. That is Chapter 5. With capitalized English, be careful. This type is usually unnecessary and not worth reading. It is better to insert one word like country or 95 clauses joined by commas. In many cases, the second clause is preceded by a stupendous word such as accordingly. Do not misuse this word. The sentence will probably be misused by a man who God tried to avoid making. I wish I were employed by a stupendous paragraph with capitalized English words and expressions. Chapter 6. It is true that colloquialisms and slang are entertaining. Between statements which are entertaining, it is best to insert a brief description of a hostile nature in which are introduced such expressions as, he refused to be young, or, prematurely, he found himself more famous and more modern. In these 2 sentences, they are full of exciting adventures and other sources of escape, but the writer must never write them on his wife, and of course the principal should always remember to avoid committing one of these words to the woman he has adopted, his wife. It is interesting to recall how much confidence is required to be young and inexperienced. Chapter 7. A common blunder is to use italics while I am still in the house. Do not use italics with their penal definiteness, that plague of English prose. They punish the writer who aims to write plain and adequate. The fact that I am in the house should always be remembered if you are on the roof and you like to use italics. If you intend to use italics with this problem of a hostile character in the house, be careful not to use them without preamble. First, it is best to tell the story of 2 mistakes which might have been made independently by 2 independent walking tours of history. In the past, Chapter 8. In the past, the essentials were profit, great surprise, and a large audience. In the 5th book of history grew a long paragraph, tedious sentences following sentences. This is the old days. It was forbidden to export gold to authors in states of escape. It is forbidden to write Charles' letter or to use a conjunction. It is forbidden to use definite assertions. It is taught that the writer must either mark his sentences with a smile, or better, use italics. By the same pattern, Trafalgar, which was most commonly misused of the plural sense phenomena, often used to be told that he had better use a tax so that he could be heard by the reader of history. He should have been given £100 for all of his senses in which he urged the reader to be an artist or an abstract event. It was not to be. In a series of 3,000 years, the fragments of history grew up to be confused as a man who is very ambitious and is still required to use words. Chapter 9. The sense must be feminine or better. This is the gist of all senses in this book. This is the gist of history. And finally, Chapter 10. A comma is reached by denying the contrary. Do not spell a comma. In writing comma, the letter should indicate what is not a comma. A comma should not have much confidence or beliefs. A comma should not be suspected of abuse. A comma should not pay any attention to Boston. A comma of Scotland is incorrect. A comma after a lecture is incorrect. A comma before dark is indefensible. And that's going to be the last one for a little while. I'm going to get back to working on web pages. I might be streaming then. I don't know. I'm probably going to be eating supper around 6:30. So, yeah, that's the last one I'm going to have read for a little while. Now I'm going to just get to work on web pages. I'm going to make this page and I'm going to use the bathroom. Sorry about taking that bit of a detour there, but I just had to read out that one because that's one of the best in my opinion. So, let's see here. Highway shields. County route template. How's this look? Yeah, that's right. So I just need to make the county route template, which is good. Shelby. Oh yeah, I'm on Steam, but I don't really play games on it anymore. So I do use it to keep in touch with the signal collectors. He lives up on Long Island. Save as highway shields cr16.png. Save. Okay. No. Same as my YouTube channel. As you can see, I have way too many county routes made. The joys of living in the South. Since you're near Colorado, Alabama, yep. Image, canvas size. And 100. Image, canvas size. Alright, so that's that header made. File save as. .png. Save. Okay. Close. I need to type? Hey, there we are. So who all's currently watching, by the way? $42. All right. Let's see here. Thanks. I'm thinking of bringing that series back. Once again, actual dash cam, by the way. So yeah. Alright, save as. That's right. What I'm gonna do now is just do that. Control C. Oops. It's known owns operates it. It does not appear to have a dot number assigned to it. The Southern does operate over it. Let's see here now. Let's see here. Control S. All right. See here. I'll get to that one later. I'm doing these pages in more or less alphabetical order, so you won't see me do any updates for it for a little bit. First signal. A mixture of Yeah, Minnesota is usually my response to people asking me to check out their channel as well. Hey, channel of random standing fans, can you please stop whoring your channel on in my chat? So I won't be afraid to ban you. Alright, have a good evening, Connor. Why'd I do that? Yeah, I've been to that line before, though they've upgraded all of the AGIS lights on their crossings to 12 by 24 inch LEDs, so I'm not really too interested in trying to get back over there anytime soon. So they do have some nice older Southern Railroad equipment, including some later GRS gate mechanisms. Yeah, I've looked at it. I don't think they have any signalized crossings on their line either. In all honesty, I think it's all like crossbucks. But the CSX branch line to them has a couple signalized crossings, but that's about it. That turned out properly. Alright. Yep. I swear, those older Progress Rail lights look a lot like Safe Tran lights. It's crazy. Huh. I'm gonna edit this and then I'm gonna go use the bathroom real fast, so yeah. Yeah, there's that old Ellen install in Wartrace, Tennessee. There's actually two of them. One's a gateless install on the Walking Horse in Eastern. The other is a gated install on the CSX Chattanooga subdivision, though the signal at the bell was sadly knocked out and replaced 1 year with a sometime a few years ago with a more modern signal with a, I think a General Signals eBell. So yeah, I'm gonna go I'm gonna check this, take a quick break, and use the bathroom. And I'll be right back. And I'm back. So let's see here. I'm gonna go back to that. Now down here at A4 number 2, because I get to update this page, because one of the signals had a bell replaced. Yeah, it wasn't really knocked out, it was just replaced. Was the mod with an AGE bell for some reason. I think it just straight up died. No, I never saw it in action before the bell was replaced, so I don't know how it was operating. Wait, hang on. Alright, I'm back again. Just had to go talk to my dad for a second. Yeah, Union Pacific Heritage units sometimes come through here, but they're not very often. But not very oftenly, unfortunately. I think it helps due to the fact that the Union Pacific system is so large, and there's so few heritage units. They get spread out across the entire system. Real quickly, I'm just gonna go ahead and add this. Since I might as well. No point in delaying it. I'm gonna be going here within the hour or two. Yeah, within the hour to eat supper. So I might come back after supper, but I'll have to think on it. I might start shooting it after supper. I may just decide to go back to working on my web pages without streaming. We'll see. Alright, and now I'm gonna get to do some rearranging of stuff. Hopefully I can get collar up completed before supper, because I got like one more crossing to do, I want to say. Yeah, just one more crossing to do after this. And I just gotta update the index page for cholera. I've been over in the Chattanooga area before. I need to get back out there. I'm probably gonna do more branch line route fanning if I do, though. That's because the branch lines have all kinds of cool crossing equipment on them. And maybe hit up the W of A subdivision, see if there's any. And see if I can get some of those 1990s installs along there recorded. Well, some of those crossings along in Chattanooga and just south of Chattanooga and Georgia recorded. Well, I think the next trip I take over to that area will be to check out that abandoned line running south out of Chattanooga in Georgia, that is. Scroll. Hang on, what's the end here? 54, okay. 56. I'm gonna select that real quickly, but just... Whoops. Control C, now Control V. See here, this was yeah, pair VS 44AH, that's right. Yep, the old band tagline. Part of it I'm gonna be checking out was still in use by the Chattanooga and Chickamauga up until, I don't know, actually. Well, it was still used several years for a while afterwards, and then got abandoned sometime within the past 10 years, if I recall correctly. Two there. Remove one. Control X. Control V. Copy paste this table again. That table right there. Remove all but two. Remove all but one. Control X. Control V. There we are. I did reason for doing that. Now I can remove this and this. Ah, nice. Control S. Now. There we are. Now this. Turn trip on. Oh, nice. W and A, it can be very busy or very slow depending on the day you go there. Both days I've been on it, it's been slow, unfortunately, but oh well. 11, 27, 17. See. it to go. Yes, 448. Good. I currently use a Sony Handycam HDR CX405. Before that, I used a Sony Handycam Sony Handycam HDR CX220, which I also currently use as a backup camera if I have it on hand. And for pictures and sometimes videos, I use a Canon PowerShot ELPH 170 IS. Before that, I used a Sony Handycam ELPH 115 IS. Before that was a Sony Handycam PowerShot A4000 IS. These cameras work perfectly fine. Alright, now to make the page for County Route 86. I need to get this open because there's no top number posted there. That's right. Caller and Shelby. No records. No accents here. Okay. It's near Caller, just as I suspected. And that means it's like one train a day, apparently. Yeah, it was. It used to be a signalized crossing probably from the LNN. In fact, the LNN, I'm surprised the LNN accidentally left these signals here when they abandoned this line years ago and tore up the tracks. But this used to be the LNN, like, coal belt line or something like that. Or the LNN Birmingham belt line, I forget what. Hang on. I think it's still named. No, it's not, unfortunately. But yeah, the crossing used to be an old L&N crossing. They probably accidentally left these signals, or at least the masts, here years ago, and so they tore out the clearance, and the Collar and Shelby took over the crossing. They Or downgrade the crossing, or just put up crossbucks and stop signs at it. And probably took out the relay case if it was still there. That right there is the eastern end of the line. They're slowly rebuilding this old L&N line. And that right there is looking west. It's like two of like, there's very few crossings along the line. And they're all crossbucks. Okay, so no. CR86, good. Save as. It's pretty uncommon here, though. You'll have a few errors that'll do it, like usually museum errors, from what I've noticed. Probably due to the fact that they just simply can't afford to maintain the signals, and they don't get use as much as other railroad lines. So signals might not be justified. Alright, so now close, no. Header. Yep, near cholera. Alright, so now image canvas size pixels 40 by 300. Image canvas size pixels 200. I can imagine most places and most countries outside of the, at least most first world countries, especially in Europe and Australia. I can imagine most places rare crossings get downgraded. At least most developed countries, at least most first world countries, anyways. There we are. Open with. This guy's gonna be real simple since he's just a crossbuck crossing. And now split. Let's see here, there are 14. Pictures, so That means that those guys get to go down here. Alright, so we need to update 9th Street now. Real quickly, just update 9th Street. Number 2, that's it. There's actually like 2 other crossings along this line, but I haven't. That's right, it's the Elnan Mineral Loop. But I haven't documented them yet. There's like only 1 other crossing along the line, then I need to get like another. I need to find like maybe 2 other crossings in town to document. R86. I'm gonna leave this open so I can copy paste some of the stuff. Alright. Now, that means this is done. Control S. CSMX.png. Alright, so now milepost is none. There is none. Okay. Yeah, that's right. These don't have mileposts. I don't know why, but they don't. Huh. Interesting. I'm guessing the government thought that there wasn't enough traffic on the road at that point, that when the railroad got turned into a museum line, they got turned into a tourist line, that they decided that there wouldn't be enough traffic on either the road or railroad to justify signals or at least gates. Crossing dot number. One as of 2017. Yeah, I guess they just felt they didn't warrant gates at that point then. Oh, that's a shame. This towards Knight's Treat number 2. Taken on 17. Control S. Alright, that one's done. And now, time to update this. Open with crap. Open with, because I'm just going to resize these 24 by 24. What equipment did the crossings have before they folded, by the way? Alright, so that's those. All I'm going to do is just take street template. It's going to be a bit of a cheat, but it works. Street templates. So I don't feel like trying to create new things for Alabama 25. So what I'm going to do is just do number 1, number 2, space number 2. Oh wow, that's a shame it got removed. Didn't that one guy who records a lot of Victorian crossings, didn't he record that crossing before they shut down? Yeah, that looks good. I think it's like Stephen Holmes' name. 1. Oops. Oh wait. Okay. I just need to rename that to number 2 now. I forget his name. He's on the forums. It's like Steve Holmes or Stephen Holmes or something like that. He lives in the Melbourne area and records and uploads a lot of videos of crossings from there. Let's see here. I know his profile picture is a picture of a Westinghouse hybrid bell. Hang on. No. Alright, so let's try 1.8. It's not it. It's not it. Not it. Oh yeah, that's it. Stuart Hunt. Derp. I am bad with names. That's right, Stephen Holmes is a guy that lives in Georgia. Who I happen to know, by the way. So I wasn't pulling that name out of nowhere, it's just... Yeah. No. Alright. Alright, here we are, and now time to split. There we are. Now, in table row, begin table row, and alright, so now Control S, let's have the main part of that out of the way. Now, just gonna put in the new date on all these ones that I've updated. Got new stuff on them anyways, that's for sure. So, now, Control S. So, ten now has 54 pictures, 54 minus 38. 38, 16 new pictures. Split. Alright, so now let's try bright lime green. Let's try bright green, see if that does anything. Okay, so bright green, lime green, neon lime green. Okay, no. Lime green's what I'm gonna want. No, Control Z. Alright. Green. X. Oh. Let's try doing that. And now setting that to green plus. +2. Style. White and remove one of those extra fonts. Oh, yeah, that actually worked. Okay. I guess that works. Now I can close out of that. And now alright, so now Control S. One. Two. One. Hang on.
On the wash hands for supper.
Alright, I'm gonna have to go, so. So yeah, I just gotta move that hashtag because that's clearly not working. So yeah, I'm about to have to go, so. Well, I'm about to be going because I gotta go eat supper. And yeah, it actually worked out pretty well. That's good to know. A little wider space, but yeah. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna cut off the stream once I finish this real quick. And that was +16 I figured out. +1 +1 1 1 That's like 20 if I recall correctly. Cancel. Cancel. 20 means that that needs to go into green plus. Alright. 14, I want to say. And now, crossing site. Oops, wrong one. Cholera. 25.1 is now 64 minus 27. 37. Oh, that's right. Cancel. Backspace. I did not want that. I want just to copy down that. One. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it off here. Finish working on this later. So yeah, have a good evening, y'all. I may do this later. I don't know. You'll see if I do decide to do it later.